What's up, everybody? Welcome back to 23rd Garage. So today we are back on the Silverado, and basically just a very simple frame job. Since these trucks do not have aprons, once this fender comes off, that's going to be everything in this area that needs to be replaced. So what we need to do now is we need to pull this out before we remove anything. That way anything that could possibly have gotten bent that the fender bolts to will also get pulled out with the damaged parts, and then we can remove them and put the new pieces on. So the first thing I am going to do, I am going to use one of my little scrap pieces of metal, and I'm simply going to weld it on right here to this fender edge and use it to pull everything out, and hopefully it all comes out. So let's knock it out. First pull, we'll probably start at the top, and hopefully it doesn't tear it off. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's nice. All right, so we are going to measure from that wall, and we've got 30 and a half. So we measure from, that wall's got to be symmetrical. It wouldn't make sense for it not to be. And here we've got 30 and a quarter, so another quarter of an inch, a little bit less than a quarter of an inch is what it wants. I mean, you can tell it's still kind of bent up right there, but honestly, it's fine. Like, there's not, since we're already gapped over there where the fender meets the door, none of this really matters anymore, because that fender is going to be removed and the apron's going to go with it. So we've got basically the pull that we need. Maybe we just need to do a slide pull right here and see if that will open up here. But like I said, it doesn't even matter, because all this is going to come off and be replaced, so it doesn't mean anything. I think we're ready to strip it down.
Yeah,
honestly.
we only really need to pull anything that we can't take out.
Yeah, like the airbox was jammed up, you know, a bunch of stuff under there was jammed up. And like I said before, you want to pull out the damaged parts as much as you can before you take them off, because you don't know, something could be jammed up in the back, or the tabs where the fender bolts on, it could be bad. But here we actually have the proper gap at the very top, so that means we pulled the top of it forward, and then this gap is pretty much superficial because the damage was up there and it pushed it like kind of at an angle. So once that comes off and the new fender goes on, the gap will be right. So for now, what I think we need to do is go ahead and get this fender off. All right, so before we install our new fender, we need to go ahead and trim it out. So I've got the base, got some Dynacoat ready to spray here. And we've got everything scuffed down and we've got it all cleaned up. And unfortunately, Mark is using the booth, so we can't go in there. I think this being a tiny little job like this, I think we'll be all right out here. All right, so that's the first coat down, and actually ran out of paint at perfect time. So we're gonna let this set up a little bit, and then I'm going to throw one more coat on it. And this final coat, I'm going to add a little bit of clear coat and hardener to the paint, and that's going to give it like a semi-gloss finish, like a matte, kind of a matte. Like what you usually find underneath the hood of a car, that's what it turns out. So we'll let this set up a little bit and then get that coat on. Check that out, guys. The fender looks absolutely amazing. It looks like a factory fender almost, except for the fact that it says Tong Yang right there. But yeah, we're gonna let this thing set up, and then hopefully it dries up hard. We'll probably have to give it about an hour or two, and we'll go ahead and install the core support and have that ready, because it's actually going to be easier to go ahead and install the core support first and then this fender. So that'll give us enough time for this thing to dry. Hopefully we can get that buttoned up here in about an hour, and then we'll come back out here, get this thing, pop it on, get that front end together. So we are ready to put our fender on. I put on some brand new gloves, you know, not to mess it all up. I always make the mistake of handling these with the same gloves that I do the rest of the framework in. All right, guys, check that out. We got the whole front end, well, half of the front end. We did not put the bumper on it simply because we have to paint that bumper. It is a painted bumper, and we don't want to put all the brackets on and stuff until we paint it, because we like to paint it from both sides. So We can't put the bumper on, but that'll be in the next video. As you guys can see, we got the grill on it. Everything is lining up really nice. As far as the hood gap goes, I don't know exactly what the hood gap should be on a Chevy, so I have to look at one to make sure to adjust everything perfectly. But as you can see, everything lines up. One thing I don't like is this aftermarket headlight right here. If you look, this stuff right here is just, it's horrible, and you really can't line it up. It doesn't fit good. It's just, I don't know, it's weird. But one part we did not buy. The customer actually bought the headlight. We actually bought this Kappa right here, so fits very nice. Fit up to the door very nice.
Inspector, I'm inspector.
What do you think about it, man?
Like factory, man. How you do this?
There's very little
What
frame
is it?
damage.
This new or
Original.
original?
Yeah, original. There was no frame damage. It was just the fender, and that's it. All right, but that's going to be it for this episode. We got the framework done on the Silverado. The next video on the Silverado, we will be painting it. Paul flew back in today, so he'll be back at work tomorrow. Hopefully we can get the M3 painted tomorrow, but if anything, worst case scenario, we will get the Silverado painted. And I actually want to see, Nate, look, the paint matched up on this thing perfectly.
Oh yeah.
It's a shade off, but like if you bought this hood and you just needed a hood, you could put it on and not even paint it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, super excited about that. But yeah, super excited to get this thing done. Finally wrapping it up. So stay tuned for that. And if you guys like the video, hit that like button. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and check us out on Instagram at 23rd_garage. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.